Spencer Southey.
Hey, Kasey. Welcome. Rooted in Idaho, huh?
Rooted in Idaho. What the hell are we doing here?
I don't know, man. No, I think I'm excited for this podcast.
Yeah, we're just talking into microphones and hopefully having some conversations worth listening to.
Yeah. I mean, I think interviewing business owners and just understanding local community is going to be super fun. And I think that's kind of why we wanted to start this, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many local businesses, so many entrepreneurs, so many interesting people who are contributing to our community in unique and important ways. And a lot of times those people are kind of behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Like we don't get to see their personalities. We don't get to hear their stories. We don't get to necessarily know, their perspectives on business and life and community and living and, being in Idaho.
Yeah.
And so I think if we can maybe add a little bit of value to that conversation, highlight some people that we know and some people that we don't know, and kind of tell the story of them and their businesses and why they've chosen to stay in Boise. Hopefully that's, something that people will be interested in.
Yeah. I say it a lot, right? Small town feel, large city amenities. And that's what I think we want to get across is just talking to really interesting people and how awesome of a community this is of people and business owners and just stories they have to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you and I hopefully bring interesting perspectives to the conversation, right? I'm born and raised in Boise.
Yep.
You've been here for 10 years, but
Yep.
came from Washington. And so hopefully our unique different perspectives, and also like I'm on the small business side,
Yeah.
and you're on the real estate side.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that kind of divergent perspective a little bit can help add some color to these conversations.
Yeah, I think it's great perspective. We're talking to different people. You're here, you've been here, you've lived here your whole life,
Yeah.
and now I'm coming in and we go talk to all these people because there's a lot of business owners that have lived here their whole life, right? And then people have come here, and it's just cool to get the perspective and just really find good businesses because, we're a small community, but we're growing, and there's great spots that we're learning about all the time, right? Especially as we get different guests and different people that, we want to bring onto the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's always interesting, especially as you and I are both running our own businesses, leading
Yeah.
our own teams. It's fun to steal some ideas from other people who are doing things their way, right?
Yeah.
I think you can always learn from other business owners, whether you want to be a business owner or you just, are trying to figure out which businesses to support, or you're getting acquainted to the area, or you've been here your whole life. Like there's always something to kind of learn from people who are out, putting in the work, doing the thing, that the men and women in the arena, right, so to speak, and kind of just be able to learn and glean some insights from them and hear their stories. It always kind of fires me up when I have these conversations with people and I maybe pick up on a couple things and I'm like, oh yeah, I should be thinking about things in that way, or I need to be doing a better job of that. Like when you're running businesses and leading teams and doing stuff like that, you can get so like in your little bubble of like, this is what I do, this is how I do it. And so it can be super helpful to hear from these other people who have built successful businesses or are doing cool things in our community, and like really learn from them and take some of the interesting ways that they've found success and try to be like,
Yeah.
I want to emulate that.
Yeah, no, definitely. And, with me being a full service real estate company, right?
Plug.
And then you being a restaurateur, the Still Ice Cream, Funky Taco. Should I keep going?
Odd Box Breakfast Project. That's it.
I think it's not just about business owners. It's about leaders in the community and people, right? So from politicians to, just good people, we'd like to get them on here just to hear their story, have a good conversation, have a good time, right?
Yeah. It's not just business owners, right? We're anybody who's kind of doing cool, unique, additive things to our community, who's a part of the community in some way. Just, I think, bringing them in, being able to tell their story, tease out some insights, some fun anecdotes, and just kind of getting to know them a little bit.
Yeah.
It helps create a greater sense of community for all of us, right?
Yeah.
It's like that interconnectedness. That's one thing I love about Boise is it's like we're all just a couple degrees of separation away from everybody. And so hopefully the conversations we have here lead to more conversations, or lead to, people going out and finding a business or a person or a, whatever it is that they maybe have never tried before, and give people a better sense of what it means to live, work, and play in the Treasure Valley, be rooted in Idaho.
That's a good plug. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, it is interesting. The Valley is growing so fast, especially in the last 10 years. And I think showing that we have a sense of community and just showing all these different businesses is really important as we grow. Answer questions. What does it look like as the growth happens here? And, how is that changing our community as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot, obviously it's fraught political times, right? Everyone's kind of, there's a lot of divisiveness. Do you say divisiveness or divisiveness? I guess I say divisiveness. And there's a lot of, interesting choices that are going to have to be made about the Valley as it continues to grow.
Yeah.
Right. With growth comes a lot of opportunities, but also comes a lot of challenges. And hopefully we can have some conversations around those unique challenges.
Yeah.
And, things aren't always black and white. There's a lot of nuance, right? There's the people who are opposed to the growth, and there's people who are embracing the growth. And there's a lot of in-between space there where you can acknowledge, hey, on the one hand, this is a snowball rolling down a hill and there's no stopping it. It's going to continue to accumulate. And so how do we all position ourselves to thrive in a growing community? But I think we can also acknowledge the downsides of that growth, right? Increased traffic, rising costs of living, things like that hopefully, our city leaders and state leaders are taking into consideration. We'll have conversations around that. But I think just kind of, we're trying to promote Idaho. We're trying to promote the Boise area, the businesses, the people, the community that we have here. But we also won't shy away from, the challenges, and trying to have those conversations in a meaningful way that hopefully adds to the conversation.
Yeah. Real conversations, no fluff.
Yeah.
Right.
A little bit of fluff when I talk.
A little bit. But just get to it and just understand, that these are great conversations we're going to have, and just understanding about people is going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully we get some great guests and we ask them some good questions.
No script either, right?
No script. We started with, we thought we were going to have a script, and then we said, to heck with this. I'm better unscripted, I think.
Me too.
I'm just like I'm an off the cuff guy. Just like no notes. Let's just rip.
Yeah. So, the conversations go anywhere. That's what's fun about it, right? We're still getting the essence of, hey, who these people are, why they do what they're doing, take some lessons away, because it can go in so many different directions. And I think just once we find that vein or something that we're talking about, we can take it down that path and see where it goes.
Yeah, that's actually probably one of the hardest parts for me is I have more questions that I want to ask than we have time for. And so just containing, kind of all that, because especially being in that business world, it's like I always want to tease out like all these little, like, how do you do this? How do you do this?
Yeah,
and it comes from a selfish place, right? Like I would be having these conversations whether we were doing them in front of a camera phone and microphone or not. These are the kind of conversations that I enjoy, just learning about people, trying to understand their story, understand what makes them tick, why they're doing what they're doing, how they view themselves in the community, what it is uniquely about Boise or the Treasure Valley that's made them stick around here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun to kind of have these varied conversations with, a diverse group of people and get those perspectives.
Definitely. And I know the goal for us is we're going to drop some episodes, right? And then once a week, we're going to do one and just try to bring people in and interview them and, put some good content for people to listen to. And hopefully it makes a change in their life and understand and, have
we're
a
changing
better
lives.
I hope so. We'll see. You never know. But, it is interesting just being able to, these days, with social media and TikTok and, some of these other shows, I think what's cool about what we can do too is you can listen to it, you can watch it, and, if you can learn something from it, it's one of those great opportunities, I think, overall.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So we are really excited to get this new podcast launched and highlight some great people in our community. It's rooted in Idaho, real stories, real people, real Idaho, and hope you'll tune in and learn some stuff and meet some of the kind of movers and shakers in the Boise area.
Let's do it.
Peace.